Hello YouTube, welcome back to my ninth tutorial on Python 3.7. Today we'll be talking about for statements. So let's get started. So first let's start off by creating a random list. So I'm going to make mine random and I'm going to set it equal to the values maybe, how about toys, car, bear, China, and how about what's something else that I can think of, book. Okay, so these are some really random things and I have to remember to put them all in quotes. Okay, because this is a list. Okay, so I have initialized a list. So now I'm going to teach you guys this new function called the for function. So I'm going to type it out first and then explain what it does. So I'm going to have for r in random colon print r. And when we run this, we get toys, car, bear, China, book, just like what we had before. So here's what the for function does. So it's for lists and stuff, instead of just having to print out the lists, this is just another way to print out the list, but it's a lot more convenient and it's a lot more versatile than just printing out what a list does. So how does this work? So first, for any for loop, just type in the word for in the beginning, and then you're going to create a variable. I created my variable r because I have random. I just thought I would create a variable starting with r since random all starts with r. So you say for r in. This in, all this stands for is r will increase every time and random. For r in random. So in variable r, we'll be storing toys, then cars, then bears, then China, then book, which are all in variable random. So every time it's going to keep looping through, and on the first one, r is going to be equal to toys. On the second loop, r is going to be equal to car. Third loop, r is equal to bear. Fourth loop, r is equal to China. And the last loop, r will be equal to book, and it's just going to print them all out like that. So if you guys wanted to see how it would look, if like how the r's work, so let's just do this. How about we do print len.r, well, print len and then r. Okay, this is another function. It's called the len function, and then all you have to do for the len function is have len bracket and then some list or variable or anything. And for this, I just have random, but suppose I was to create another variable over here and say age, or no, how about bear equals Papa Bear. And then I was supposed to say print the length of bear. I'm going to command R. And then we'd get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And the only reason it's printing out 10 5 times is because now it's still going through this for loop, and since there's 5 items in this list random, it's just going to be printing this out 5 times. Except instead of this time printing out all the individual things that are in variable random, it's going to be printing out the word Papa Bear because I chose to print bear in my print statement. Okay? So let's go back to printing R as our statement and getting all of these numbers. And under this as well, I'm just going to type in print bracket len r. Now when we run this, it's gonna come out pretty cool. It's gonna have in our list like this, the first number, that's an r, the first little string in variable random, followed by how many numbers it has, and then the second variable string in variable random, followed by how many letters it has, and on and on and on. And I just did this to show you guys how it runs through. So in this for statement, it's going to run through print R, which is why toys is first, and then it's going to print the length of that because it's under the R, and that's why for is second. And then it goes through and it loops back again up to 4, and then it says goes up onto car because variable R will increase, and it goes up to car. Same thing happens with car, and it keeps going on and on and on like that. Now, suppose I was to change this up and I made variable like this. If I had L length the R first, it would just come up like this. Now the length of variable R would come up first, and then whatever was being stored in variable random at the time would also be stored second. Okay, and just a final reminder for you guys, just like in all other if statements, if else statements, else if statements, just like all of those, the common syntax for this is to have a colon at the end of the statement and then make sure to indent any phrases that fall under the for loop. Okay, and now if you want to stop the for loop, you can always just say break, B-R-E-A-K, just right under it, okay? And if I run this, now since I have the word break at the end, instead of running through this for loop over and over again, but when I get to this first break, it's going to completely just stop working, okay? But in this example, we don't really need the break, and we just want to run through all of our examples all at once, so it's going to work like this. But if we only ever wanted toy, how many numbers were in toys, and we didn't want the rest of them, we could just say break. And our code would just end at 4 in toys. And just one more reminder, since this is a list, you can also have bracket and then maybe 2:4. All this means it's going to run the second through fourth numbers. And keeping in mind that when Python goes through these numbers and organizes them, they count the first number as zero. So it counts starting at 0. So this means that toys is 0, car is 1, and bear is 2. So we're printing out bear. And then 3 is China. And then since 4 is book, 4 will not be included in the string. If we did want 4 included in the string, we would just type in a 5, Command I, or whatever you're using. If you're using Windows, Command Shift I, and then we're going to get bear book China. Okay? So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.